Moiroi, Gausep Brambe, 197. Go, Kona Keith, best friend of mine. Modified by Srak A, Ga. Moiroi, Gausep Brambai, 198. Ko, Kona Keith, Kona, Hawaii. Ironman Championship, Kona 5. Modified by Srak A, Gay. Moiroi, Gausep Rambon, 199. Go, Kona Keith. This is also the first consonant in the Khmer language and looks like a temple with their style of roof on it. And the temple is the most sacred thing in their culture. Angkor Wat is one of the most popular attractions in Siem Reap's biggest temple complex in the world. Modified by Srak Ai Gai. So I did my 43 minutes of Khmer. Biroi, 200. Gu, Cool Joe Jr., best friend of mine. Modified by Srak A, Gi, composite expression. Biroi, Gu, Cool Joe Jr., cool person, cool attitude, cool outlook on life, cool ideas, cool worldview, cool personality, just an all-around cool cat. And modified by Srak A, Gi, master expression or a composite expression of a bunch of other simpler expressions such as singularity, question mark, unfertilized egg, unknown unknown, etc., etc. Biroi, 200. Ku, Cool Joe Jr., cool parents, cool friends, cool family, cool extended family, cool cultural background, cool upbringing. Lives in a cool country, coolest country on earth. Modified by Srak Ai Ge. So what I did instead of taking Adderall is I started jogging, and this clear bar represents the total time jogging. After about 1 hour of jogging, because another term for jogging is being in a box of pain. It's hard. It sucks. It hurts. So you're in your box of pain, and it's just really hard, frustrating. You don't want to do it. It's painful. You're hot. You're sweaty. You're miserable. You're questioning whether you have the will to live. And after about an hour, the painkiller, endorphin, kicks in while you're in your little box of pain. You're still in your little box of pain in about 1 hour. And then you keep on going, and it starts feeling less painful because your body starts producing more and more endorphins to compensate for the pain, the disequilibrium that you've inflicted upon yourself. So here in the light bar ends, the jogging ends, and what happens is what's called the spillover effect. And for about 1 to 2 hours afterwards, you have the spillover of the painkiller. So it's like taking a powerful shot of heroin or Adderall. And then basically you have a ton of neurocognitive activity, or what's called cognitive currency. So when you're low energy or you have a lot of ADHD, it's basically like showing up to the party with no money, and you're just there to take, hurt people, watch people bleed, start shit, start fights, see how people react to things inappropriately. It's like you're showing up broke. But if you do this, you stop here. Basically, it's like you're showing up to the party flush with cash, handing out $100 bills. You have presents for everybody. You're hooking everybody up. You remember everybody's name. You're taking their game to the next level. Everybody loves you because you showed up to the party flush with cash. That's cognitive currency. It's exactly like money, exactly like energy. So, when it comes to the U.S. Constitution, the pursuit of happiness, there are exactly 4 chemicals that cause happiness. And as scientists, we know exactly how it works with very little uncertainty. In the context of philosophy, of we are all trying to seek pleasure, happiness, and avoid pain, it's no wonder why scientists obsess over figuring out exactly which neurochemicals are most associated with happiness. Oxytocin, basically Facebook, attracts all the freeloaders in the world, free and always will be. Basically, it's an oxytocin fest. Facebook. It's people who are provocateurs, people who have ADHD, people who are poor, people who are cheap. It's freeloaders, a freeloader frenzy, Facebook. It's an oxytocin party. Dopamine, the reward chemical, if you actually do something legitimately amazing like summit Mount Everest, put a flag in the top, your brain fires off bunches of dopamine. Sense of accomplishment produces dopamine. It's why sense of accomplishment feels good. Serotonin, the social connectiveness or social dominance chemical. If you show up in a room and you outrank everyone, your brain produces more serotonin. Or if you happen to have more friends than everyone, meaningful and healthy friendships, your brain produces lots of serotonin. Endorphins from exercise. This one is least popular because no pharmaceutical company has ever figured out a way to make a pill that actually produces endorphins. So you can create pills and market these other ones. Create tools such as Facebook to capture everybody's attention and perpetuate an oxytocin fest. Serotonin, Prozac, other things. But endorphins is the one that is legal in every country on planet Earth because pharmaceutical companies can't figure out how to make a pill. And it's exactly like Dr. Servan-Schreiber said in that documentary, The C Word, about the anti-cancer method. No one's figured out how to patent jogging yet. So it's not just legal, it's actually the superior chemical of the four chemicals in terms of the American philosophy, like pursuit of happiness. This is kind of paradoxical. How do you induce endorphins? Well, you actually embrace pain temporary. And you do it because you're sick and tired of either taking a pill to get rid of your ADHD. The term ADHD has been coined because millions and millions of people have recognized it as a real phenomenon. You got pissed off that they work as hard as everyone else, they're smart as everyone else, and they have nothing to show for themselves in their life because they never really have the cognitive currency to show up to the party, to be able to buy stuff. And they're basically just like the person who shows up to the party who's basically has nothing to offer anybody. They're just there to take, hurt. And then, anyway, so it's super paradoxical. But if you study this is basically like an aggregated output of things people put into TopWiki in terms of one of my promises to God, for the lack of a better word, or our overlords, my promise to God is to use TopWiki to encourage people to put down their coffee, their Adderall bottles, all their pharmaceuticals, and get more exercise, start eating better, and use this to their advantage, because dopamine is one of the most dangerous chemicals in the world. It causes some of the most atrocities. You could probably say like ISIS is probably on drugs. 99% of the people who rob banks are on drugs. Almost everyone who shoots up a school is on drugs. Endorphins never really allow for that, for lack of a better expression. You don't really feel good, you just don't feel bad. So you can just do something totally positive and you feel kind of neutral. And the beauty of endorphins is unlike dopamine, you can switch tasks endlessly. You never lose your holistic or your big picture intelligence. Adderall, which produces dopamine, you can lose your big picture intelligence. I know from personal experience how dangerous my behavior has become at times due to taking Adderall, which triggers dopamine. I lost my holistic intelligence because this is powerful reward chemical. It just says go, go, go. But with endorphins, you can switch tasks, pull back, see the big picture, going forward, work on something very detailed, master the details, pull back, see the big picture. Adderall, you can't. So God, I've kept my promise to you to try to help several million people get off Adderall and get some jogging shoes. Watch the documentary The C Word with Megan O'Hara about the anti-cancer method.